little while since we've had a brand new song from the band, Perry. That was one of their hits from just a few years back. You Lie, here on 94.1 The Brand, Better Country. Here is Cole Swindell.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
Have you heard the exciting news? Western Nebraska Regional Airport will be offering flights with United Airlines operated by SkyWest beginning January 30th, 2018. What's even better? You'll get to earn and use your United points. Reservations with United are now available. Plus, all United miles can be earned and redeemed with all flights. While you're at Western Nebraska Regional Airport, grab a bite to eat at the Flight Deck restaurant. Plus, Hearst Thrifty Car Rental is there for your car rental needs. So make life easier, relax, and get on board with Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
Amsterdam, tonight on NBC.
94.1 The Brand. So coming up with the show, they are 5 simple things that you can do today to make yourself feel
Compliments for you and your home has got the latest decor. Come in today.
There's a place.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Now at Arby's, you can get 30 euros for $90. Or for those who aren't trying to cater a Greek family reunion, they're 2 for $6.
Arby's, we have the meats.
For sandwiches.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E Series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Why should you come out to Double L Country Store in Banner County? Because we serve locally raised beef, chicken, and bison, and our hamburger buns, cabbage burgers, and pies are homemade every day. Breakfast is served daily from 8 to 11, with all-you-can-eat pancakes on Saturday. Or join us Friday nights for Burger Fest. Choose from 6 specialty burgers or build your own. And for dessert, make sure you save room for one of our homemade milkshakes. We are worth the drive here at Double L Country Store on Highway 71, just 10 minutes south of the Wildcats.
Monument Mall has been a huge part of the commercial retail market that has served the Scottsbluff Gering area for well over 2 decades. Many have the misconception that leasing or renting a retail commercial space at Monument Mall is not affordable. On the contrary, our retail spaces have never been more affordable than now. Often having several spaces to choose from for rental or lease options, we have kiosks and retail merchandising units available for your needs to help your business thrive. So don't hesitate. Feel free to give us a call. For more information, please contact Krista Pelster, our property manager, at 308-632-6000.
Outside lawyer to question him and his accuser, Christine Blasey Ford. Correspondent Sullivan Sarfati.
Ford's team is certainly not happy about this decision at all. They say that there's not a precedent to bring in outside counsel, and they think the responsibility is on the senators of that committee. Democrats really blasting this decision as well today and drilling down specifically on the point that the identity of the outside counsel, this female attorney that's going to be brought in, is not yet known.
Reaction to the sentencing of comedian Bill Cosby, who will spend 3 to 10 years in prison for sexual assault.
Famed female complainant attorney Gloria Allred brought some of the other Cosby accusers to the hearing.
Judgment day has come. The court has said that its effort and its decision were based on the guidelines.
Cosby spokesman Andrew Wyatt responded.
And Mr. Cosby knows that God is watching over him. He knows that these are lies, but we know what this country has done to black men for centuries.
Bob Costantini, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Police officer Amber Geiger, who fatally shot her black neighbor inside his own apartment, says her termination was premature and unfair.
Geiger was fired Monday, more than 2 weeks after the shooting. Robert Rogers represents Geiger and says that Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall bowed to pressure from anti-police groups and took action before all of the facts had been gathered. Chief Hall says she waited until the time was right before she terminated Geiger.
I waited until the critical portion of this investigation was complete.
Geiger's charged with manslaughter. Clayton Neville, Dallas.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell, closing down 70 points. The S&P 500 off 4 points, while the Nasdaq gained 14. I'm Ann Cates.
Now, the latest from the KNEB Newsroom.
Good evening, I'm Dave Strang. A member of the group of businessmen promoting the construction of a new aquatic center admitted last evening citizens are a little uneasy with the estimated $20 million price tag to construct the facility. Jake Aulick made a presentation to the Gering Council last night, similar to the one fellow businessman Dave Schaff delivered to the Scottsbluff Council earlier this month. Aulick stressed the Twin Cities need a new aquatic center with a competition pool for the Seacat swimming team because the indoor splash arena and even the Scottsbluff YMCA pool are, in his words, on life support.
I think there's a little bit of a shell shock on projects like this and what they cost. For the most part, I feel like the community's understanding in the need for this kind of project, and if we don't do something soon, we're going to be out of an aquatics program for any of these kids, and that's something we all need to strive for.
Aulick says gaining funding from Scottsbluff's proposed LB 357 measure is a small piece of the funding puzzle, but critically important initially. Aulick did not ask for money from the Gering Council last night, but he also said the effort needs everyone on board, and both cities will need to fund the project in some shape or form to get it started. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts is touting the state's second consecutive Governor's Cup championship. The state received the Governor's Cup for having the most economic development projects per capita of any state in the country. Ricketts says economic development incentives help, but it is the workforce in Nebraska that
actually it really starts with our people. When you hire in Nebraska, you get somebody who's well educated, who's got a great work ethic, customer oriented, loyal, and helps the company succeed. And I think that's our biggest advantage. I think making sure that we are easy to do business with this state and we're cutting red tape is also a huge deal for companies.
Ricketts has been touring many areas of the state where new economic development projects help the state gain the prestigious honor for the second year in a row. Get the latest news, breaking news alerts, and more on your smartphone or tablet with the KNEB News app, presented by Regional West. Download it today in the Google Play or Apple Store. Search KNEB News. From the KNEB News Center, I'm Dave Strang.
Hi, I'm Matt Elvejim, Scottsbluff president with Western States Bank. Just like you, we love supporting our high schools. We show our spirit, and you can too, by customizing
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
Things are getting wild over at Paul Reed Construction and Supply. Now through October 15th, take 10% off all Wild Gear and Grizzly products. Come visit us today at our showroom on 10th Street in Gering.
I was like, why'd your mic always go there?
That was an open mic?
Yeah.
Dude.
Welcome back. Chuck Swords with you on KNEB.TV. A scoreless top of the first, although Alliance threatened with a 2-out triple by Shoemaker. And now it'll be Matty Weiss, the pitcher, to lead it off for Gering. Beautiful night for softball. If you're not doing anything and you're in the Gering area, stop on over at the Oregon Trail Park and you can enjoy some high school softball. J.C. Acosta in the center circle. It's Weiss, Claflin, and Island here in the first inning. Gering coming in, winning 8 of their last 10. Alliance has lost 8 of their last 10. Left-hander takes the pitch. Ball 1. So Weiss with a 1-0 count as the delivery from Acosta missed. Stands well up in the box. Slightly open stance. And count evens at 1-1 now as she takes. Weiss yet to lift the bat off the shoulder, so to speak. Sign given by Busey. Line back up the middle. Shoemaker has it, throws, and there's one away. Bobby Claflin, the second baseman, to bat now for Gering. We've had one base runner so far. That was Shoemaker's triple, but she was stranded at third in the top half of the inning, so no score. Right-handed batting Claflin digs in at the plate. Acosta into the motion. And a strike. Kiera Island on deck. Doing the catching is Erica Busey. J.C. Acosta doing the pitching for Alliance here in this early stage of the game. That one's high, so it's a ball and a strike. In the infield, Elise Stoike at third base, Janae Shoemaker at shortstop. Peyton Gibson is the second baseman, and Aubrey Garrett patrols first base. Ball and a strike now to Claflin. And it's a ball and 2 strikes after she comes up empty on the swing. Kiera Island on deck. Claflin trying to protect here. Is down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. This will be lifted to right center, and it'll fall in. Mannion, Trevino, and Gibson all converge, and Claflin with the 1-out single. First hit of the ball game for Gering, and it'll bring up Kiera Island, who has hit it well in the games that we have had on the telecast this year. Island, a right-handed batter. Costa's pitch taken for a strike. So Acosta keeping it around the plate for the most part. Weiss had gone full count on a couple of the Alliance batters, but got out of the inning. Grounder, nubbed toward the pitcher. Acosta throws to first as Claflin pulls in at second base. So 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, and it's Briley Dean, the cleanup hitter. Dean, the freshman left fielder. Stoike at third, about even with the baseline. First, same for Garrett, so not expecting a bunt here as Dean steps in, pitch bounces, and moving to third on the play will be Claflin. So Claflin moves up on the wild pitch. Both teams now have had a runner at third with 2 out in the first. Alliance unable to score. We'll see if Gering can change that. High for ball 2. Josie Brown scheduled next. Outfielders straight away. It's average depth, maybe even a little shallow. This one will bounce, and it's 3 balls, no strikes. As all of a sudden Acosta with some control problems after I perhaps jinxed her talking about how she kept it around the plate. And the automatic makes it 3 balls and a strike now to Dean, who is not going to be offering. At third base, Claflin, the runner. Here comes the 3-1, grounded foul. Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. First full count that J.C. Acosta has had in the ball game. Josie Brown hoping for a chance to bat here in the first inning of play. And it'll be hit hard, knocked down by Gibson. Does she have a play? Yes. And the inning is over. Claflin denied scoring. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Same story for both teams in the first. No score after 1 on the West Coast scoreboard.
What are you waiting for? A 6-year limited powertrain warranty? Savings on performance-matched implements? 0% APR financing for up to 5 years. Head down to your local Kubota dealer before September 30th and take advantage of this incredible offer on the BX Series, America's best-selling subcompact tractor. Kubota, this is what we do.
Come into Sandberg Implement, your local Kubota dealer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Sandberg Implement in Gering. Buyers Realty would like to remind everyone that school is back in session, so make sure and watch for little ones in crosswalks. Be mindful of school speed zones, and take a second to double check for pedestrians and bicyclists. We want all of our young students to have a wonderful and safe year. Visit callbuyersrealty.com or stop by the office on Avenue B, next to Bumper. The Panhandle's best, Buyers Realty. Community strong, community proud. We have what you're looking for.
Welcome back. We're into the second inning of a scoreless ball game between the visiting Alliance Bulldogs and the host Gering Bulldogs here on KNEB.TV. As we said, a lot of action around the Panhandle and into eastern Wyoming tonight, but typical in the fall high school sports season. First pitch swung on by Trevino is fouled back. Sophomore right fielder for Alliance leading off here in the second inning of play. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one's low for ball 2, so 2 balls, 1 strike. Popped into right field, going back, unable to get to it. It'll be Schlotthauer. Extra bases coming for Trevino. She'll skid to a stop at second base. So the second hit for Alliance in the ball game, and both have been for extra bases. This one coming as a leadoff hit. So a runner in scoring position with nobody down for Aubrey Garrett. Garrett, the junior first baseman. Trevino at second base. Garrett batting. And trying to bunt is Garrett. She did offer, so it is strike 1. So trying to move the runner along, Trevino. Pretty good speed out there at second base. This one bounces. Coming up was Flastasser, ready to throw if she needed to. Trevino was looking rather aggressive out there on the base path between second and third, but she goes back into second. Now the 1-1 is high. Again, Trevino thinking maybe there'd be an opportunity to move up there, but she gets back to the bag safely as Splastasser made the catch of the high pitch. 2-1 to Garrett, runner in scoring position. Joe's bunt misses, and the count's 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Garrett. So 2-2 to Garrett. Nobody out. Runner at second. Busey on deck. That'll be high, so we'll go to a 3-2 count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Garrett had tried to bunt twice, so let's see now if she gets a good swing at a pitch. Fouls it away. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes one more time. 21 pitches in that first inning by Weiss. But as we talked before, a pitch count in softball not near as critical as it is in baseball, as it's an easier motion for throwing. Popped up, foul again. So we'll stay 3-2 to Garrett. Here we go, 3-2. Off-speed pitch, swung on and missed. So 4 strikeouts in the early going for Maddie Weiss, the pitcher for Gering. So with 1 out, still a runner at second base. Here's Erica Busey. Busey, the catcher, another right-hander. A couple of foul balls being retrieved and given to the umpire, so he's ready for more action. And here's the first pitch. That'll be a strike. So 0-1 to Busey. Diana Acosta, the designated player, due next for Alliance. The 0-1 is bunted right out in front of the plate. Splastasser throws to the second baseman covering for the out. Bobby Claflin got over there for that one. And the sacrifice does work, moving Trevino to third base. But with 2 out now, leaves it up to Diana Acosta, the designated player. Acosta, the senior. JC Acosta is the junior pitcher. Diana has played some second base in games that we have telecast this year. Ball 1. Diana listed 8th in the lineup for Alliance tonight. Second pitch, swung on, missed cleanly, so 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfielder's fairly deep. Snelling out there real close to the center field fence. So it's now 2 balls and a strike as the pitch misses low. Briley Dean not nearly as deep in left, but Snelling out there pretty deep, as is right fielder Schlotthauer. Now we're at 3-1. Taylor Mannion on deck. So a runner at third base for the second straight inning for Alliance, but they were unable to score in the first. Popped up behind the plate, and it's off the glove of Splastasser, who turned, went for it, could not come up with it. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes. Splastasser having to turn quickly and get back there for that one that wasn't hit very high. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's 5 strikeouts for Weiss in the first 2 innings of play. For Alliance, again, it'll be no runs. There was a hit and a runner left. We're in the middle of the second, still no score between.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, And even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Anyone who calls it a hobby doesn't understand. We know that a person's passion is what drives them. And that's why every memorial we create is a true reflection of the individual. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other. Find out how at dignitynebraska.com.
Chuck Schwartz with you as we go to the bottom of the second inning of a scoreless ball game. It's Josie Brown leading it off. Draws the bat back, but it is a called strike. Brown, the senior third baseman. Both teams have had runners in scoring position. In fact, third base is where they've ended up as the innings have ended. This will be blooped toward shortstop. Timing it is Shoemaker to make a little hop and make the catch for the out. One down, and here's Kelsey Bonsack, the designated player. She's in for the shortstop, Callista Muir, who's out there on defense for Gering. Bonsack, one of 3 juniors in the hitting lineup for the Gering Bulldogs tonight. Here's Acosta's delivery. Foul tip back to the screen. Strike one. So Bonsack falling behind in the count. So far in looking at the first 5 hitters, 3 have been behind. 2 have had a ball 1 count against Acosta. Inside, so ball 1 and strike 1. Macy Schlotthauer on deck for Gering here in the home half of the second inning. Swing coming up empty is Bonsack, so it's a ball and 2 strikes now. So ball, 2 strikes on Bonsack, trying to protect. She steps out for a moment to gather her thoughts. Now back in, and Acosta ready to go. Grounder, shortstop side. Shoemaker fires, and it's dropped. So the error will put Bonsack on at first base. First error we've had in the ball game, and it makes it 1 down with a runner on for Macy Schlotthauer. Schlotthauer, the sophomore right fielder. So now each team has had a base runner in each of their half innings, but still nobody has dented home plate. Strike 1 to Schlotthauer, the lefty. We're in the bottom third of the order now for the Gering Bulldogs. Fouled down the left side as that one slicing off the bat. Quickly got into foul territory. No balls, 2 strikes on Schlotthauer. Kelly Snelling waiting on deck, and Hannah Splastasser if they get far enough into the lineup. Runner at first, 1 down. Acosta not agreeing with Busey's first sign. There's a swing and another strikeout. We've had a lot of them in the ball game so far. 5 by Alliance pitching, or by Gering pitching, I should say. Now 1 by Alliance pitching. That'll make 2 down in the inning. And here's Kelly Snelling, senior center fielder. It'll bounce in for ball 1. Snelling hitting 8th in the order. Bonsack, the designated player, still over there at first, got on due to the error. So we've had 1 hit so far by Gering. There's strike 1. Ball and a strike now to Snelling. Sun starting to get behind the bluff out there beyond left field. It'll cool down pretty quickly, I would imagine. There's a strike on the corner. Ball and 2 strikes to Snelling. Costa just got a strikeout. Can she get 2 in a row to end the inning? That was hit off her. Yeah, that would be a foul ball, I think. It looked like it went off her foot while she was in the batter's box. So stays 1 ball, 2 strikes, but ball did get over into foul territory anyway. Busey does some housekeeping there, picks the bat up, and hands it back to Snelling, who trots back from her race to first base. It's Bonsack at first base. Snelling the batter, J.C. Acosta doing the pitching here. And she'll chase a bad one, and the throw will go to first as it was in the dirt, but counts as a strikeout. Second strikeout for J.C. Acosta, and the inning is over. A little bit of a variety in our summary, though. No runs. There were no hits. There was an error and a runner left aboard. Through 2 innings, still no score between Alliance and Gering.
Regional West is one of 3.
Care Heilbronn State Farm agent is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbronn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
Regional West is one of 3 Level 2 trauma centers in Nebraska.
We have all the resources here 24 hours a day to address any traumatic injury.
From emergency medical services to advanced medical imaging and surgery to acute care and rehabilitation.
It's comforting to know that if an accident happens here, our families, our friends, our neighbors, and even we ourselves will get expert trauma care and rehabilitation services right here at Regional West.
Welcome back. We're to the 3rd inning of a scoreless ball game between Gering and Alliance. The visiting Alliance Bulldogs have stranded runners at 3rd in both the 1st and 2nd innings, but haven't been able to score. So here's Taylor Mannion. And she'll check her swing on one low and away. Ball 1. Maddie Weiss, the pitcher. Hannah Splastasser is the catcher. Kiera Island at first, Bobby Claflin at second base. This will be lashed into left center field and hit well. It's going to roll to the wall. It's extra bases, sprinting at second, holding up, and now caught in between the bases. And caught for the out is Mannion. She went around the base thinking she was heading to 3rd, but saw the stop sign by Coach Carlos Palomo. And as she turned to go back, the throw came in behind her and got her for the putout. So 1 away. That'll go 7-4 for the out. It does count as a hit, but 1 out, nobody on base. And here's J.C. Acosta. Infielders will gather for a moment for Gering as they did a nice job defensively there to get the out when it looked like we were going to have our 3rd base runner in scoring position in as many innings for Alliance. Might mention, just remember, Ohio National Life says life changes. We'll be there. We're in the 3rd inning. Scoreboard's been intent. We're in the 4th inning every time I look out there, but we are in the 3rd inning of play and no score, which is the important stat out there. Conference is over. Weiss will stare in at J.C. Acosta, who's already in that 3rd base batter's box. 1 out, nobody on, despite a double. Inside, ball 1. Acosta, a strikeout victim on a full count in that 1st inning. There were 2 full counts for Alliance batters in the 1st. This will be lined down the first base side, but foul. So it'll be a ball and a strike to Acosta. Setting the rest of the defense, Callista Muir is the shortstop. Josie Brown at 3rd base for Gering. We'll get to the outfield here in a moment. The 1-1 pitch, and going after that one and missing is Acosta for a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Weiss has the sign from Splashdasser. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 3. The first called strikeout of the game, but the 6th for Weiss in the game. So that makes 2 outs, nobody on, and here's Elise Stoike. She also a strikeout victim in the first inning of play. In the outfield, Briley Dean is in left, Kelly Snelling in center, and Macy Schlothauer in right. So the defense set for Gering again. There's ball 1 as it misses wildly. Stoike, one of the 2 seniors in the starting lineup. The other is Shoemaker, who will bat right behind her. Offers a pretty good strike zone. This one will miss. Ball 2. So briefly, Gering had a base runner, Alliance had a base runner against Gering here in the 3rd, but erased. Ground ball right back to Weiss. She'll fire to first, and the inning is over. So it was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We're in the middle of the 3rd, still no score between Alliance and Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
Who is Hydrotex? Hydrotex manufactures and distributes high-performance lubricants and fuel improvers. We've been helping customers improve their operations for over 80 years with products made in the USA. We sell directly to customers and cut out the middleman and offer excellent service and value. Our products last longer and work better so that you spend less time maintaining equipment and more time making money. Whether you're in a factory, farm, fleet, or food processing facility, Hydrotex can help you. Visit hydrotexoil.com or call 308-635-8162.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, still no score in the ball game between Alliance and Gering. Gering will have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Hannah Splashdasser, Maddie Weiss, and Bobby Claflin to bat it. J.C. Acosta out in the center circle, ready to do battle here in the 3rd. So far, 1 hit for Gering in the game. Check swing on a breaking pitch. Ball 1. Claflin singled in the 1st inning. Bonsack got on an error in the 2nd inning. Those have been the base runners for Gering so far in the ball game. Alliance has stranded 2 runners at 3rd. Gering has stranded 1. That was Claflin in the 1st. Grounder to 3rd base. Scooping is Stoike. She'll gun for the out. So 1 away for Maddie Weiss, who grounded to Shoemaker at shortstop her first time. Weiss, the left-handed batter. There's Acosta's pitch, fouled out of play, strike 1. Both teams have had opportunities, but really the pitchers have looked pretty solid so far in the ball game. Stands way up in the front of the box, so Weiss with her front foot almost on the lime at the point closest to the pitcher. That'll be fouled up into the dugout on the 3rd base side. All kinds of Gering players in pursuit, but it got back onto the roof of the Gering dugout for strike 2. Claflin due next here in the 3rd inning for Gering. This at Oregon Trail Park in Gering. Popped up again. Coming over near us, but the catch will be made by Busey. So a foul out makes 2 out, and here's Bobby Claflin. Claflin, the only hit J.C. Acosta has given up so far. Outfielders backing up slightly to make sure nothing gets past them with 2 out, nobody on base. Ball bounces, Claflin ahead 1-0 in the count now. Football season just slightly over halfway done. Softball season almost over, and volleyball in the second half. Hit off the fist, looped, and it'll fall in, and safe at first base will be Claflin. Garrett went to get it. Peyton Gibson coming over for it. It fell, and Claflin, a 2-hit night for her. So 2 outs. Runner at first, Kiera Island. Comebacker to the pitcher, her first time. So again, a base runner. Every team has had a base runner in each of their half innings so far. Strike 1 to Island. Outfielders still slightly deeper than we see them sometimes. Off speed, Island's in front of that one. Strike 2. So no balls, 2 strikes on Kiera Island. 2 outs. Claflin, the runner at first base. We're in the third of a scoreless game. Strike 3. Should be 3 outs. The Alliance defense rather confused out there as they didn't want to vacate the defense. But in the third inning, no runs. There was a hit, no errors, and a runner left. We're through 3. 0-0 between Alliance.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com. Last school year, 17 students were honored as the Platte Valley Company's Star Student of the Week. Kids from Scottsbluff, Gering, Bridgeport, Bayard, Mitchell, and Banner County received winning nominations, and with the new school year underway, it's once again time for the public to nominate deserving K-12 students to be the next Star Student of the Week. How do you get your nomination in? Just go to pvbank.com, fill out the nomination form, and watch KNEB.TV News every Friday during the school year to see if your star student was selected.
Both teams have had plenty of base runners, at least one in each half inning so far. In fact, third base has been a prime spot for base runners, but nobody's been able to advance from third to home. We're still scoreless as we go to the 4th inning. Here's Janae Shoemaker. She tripled with 2 outs in the first, but was stranded. Takes the big swing, trying to do it again. Strike 1. Shoemaker hit it into deep center the first time, and Snelling got it back in to hold her to third. Grounded foul over to the Gering dugout, so it'll be strike 2. Shoemaker perhaps going for one under the knees that time, but a little off speed, so she thought she could take care of that one. 0-2. Brandy Seabaum is on deck. Strike 3. So that will be the 7th strikeout that Weiss has in the ball game. She's had at least one in each inning so far. Here's Brandy Seabaum, strikeout victim in the first. Snelling in center, as we mentioned. Macy Schlotthauer is in right. Briley Dean in left for Gering. Weiss's first pitch misses upstairs. Ball 1. Double play combination. Muir at shortstop. Claflin at second. And at the corners, Kiera Island at first. Josie Brown at third base. There's the 1-0 delivery. And count goes 1-1. Catching is Hannah Splastasser. Maddie Weiss, the pitcher for Gering. One out, nobody on. Swing comes up empty, so a ball, 2 strikes to Seabaum. Seabaum batting with 1 out, nobody on in the 4th. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coming up in just a few minutes, depending, of course, upon the length of the JV game, will be Scottsbluff Volleyball on 101.7 The Trail from Sydney. Scottsbluff and Sydney. Now the count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Crosstown, Scottsbluff hosting Chadron. Jeff Kelly with the call on 960 AM there. So here's the full count pitch, and it's ball 4. That's the first walk given up by either pitcher. A 1-out walk will bring Callista Trevino up. Trevino doubled her first time to right field. Moved to third on a sacrifice bunt when there was 1 out, but was stranded there.
Number 13, Gonzalez, running first.
Ready to go, yeah. Got a courtesy runner out there for Alliance, I believe. Natasha Schwartz. We'll check here in a minute. No, it'll be Fiela Gonzalez. So Gonzalez is the courtesy runner at first base. First pitch misses, ball 1. Runner on, 1 out. Strike makes it 1-1. Trevino hitting 5th in the order. Bounces in, nice stop by Splastasser. The throw down to second, not in time. So Gonzalez will move into scoring position. And the count, 2 balls and a strike on the hitter, Callista Trevino. That ruled a wild pitch because she was not moving until the ball was in the dirt. So Trevino with a runner in scoring position now. And she'll loop it over the first baseman, Kiera Island, base hit. Here comes the throw to the plate, not in time. And the throw gets away from Splastasser, so moving to second will be Trevino. So Trevino with a single and a run batted in. And then she moves to second on the throw to the plate. And we have our first run of the ball game. Gonzalez running for Seabaum scores the run, and Alliance with the lead at 1-0. And Trevino in scoring position. So here's Aubrey Garrett. Swings at a high pitch, strike 1. Garrett struck out in the second inning, one of 7 strikeouts that Weiss has in the game so far. Ball 1, so 1 ball, 1 strike. Last week, of course, Garrett, the hitting star, against Scottsbluff as she blasted home runs in consecutive at-bats in that 17-11 victory over Scottsbluff that Alliance enjoyed. And waving at that one is Garrett, strike 2. So a ball, 2 strikes. Trevino at second base. And that'll narrowly miss to make the count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weiss trying to get the out after giving up her first run of the ball game, and isn't it usually a walk that comes back to haunt you? Now the count will be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Garrett. Seabaum walked with 1 out. Gonzalez, the pinch runner, went to second on a wild pitch and then scored on Trevino's single to right field. And chasing a bad pitch, Garrett. Here comes the 8th strikeout for Weiss. and makes 2 outs. Still in scoring position is Trevino. Here's Busey, who had the sacrifice bunt in the second inning that moved Trevino to third, but unable to score from there. Strike one called to Busey. Trevino getting a lot more aggressive out there. Was a third of the way down to third base before retreating to the second base bag. Another strike. So Busey 0-2. Run coming across for Alliance this inning. They're looking for more with a runner in scoring position. And it'll miss low. So ball 1 and strike 2 against Busey. Diana Acosta waiting on deck. Alliance batting in the visitors' half of the 4th inning of play. Lifted foul, hit deep, and it'll just be 1 ball, 2 strikes again. Busey hit it solidly, but that was foul off the bat. So Busey 1-2. Trevino back to second base as the runner. Dean had turned and left, but didn't have a chance to get to that one. We'll go to a 2 ball, 2 strike count. So 2-2 to Busey. Pitch count starting to add up a little bit more. And swinging and foul tipping. Nope, didn't foul tip it, just missed it. So the throw goes to first, and it'll go as a strikeout. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Weiss, but Alliance did get the first run of the ball game. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left. So it's going to be middle of the 4th inning. Alliance leading at 1-0 on the West Coast scoreboard.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
95% of American corn farms are family-owned.
Farmers grow 70% more corn per ounce of fertilizer than just 35 years ago.
The energy to grow a bushel of corn has dropped by 37% over the past 30 years.
Farmers have cut soil erosion by 44% through new tillage methods.
This is sustaining innovation, and it's how Nebraska corn farmers are growing more with less. On the web at nebraskacorn.org.
Bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 now. Alliance on top. Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit offers regularly scheduled, accessible bus service serving communities between Alliance and Scottsbluff Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 21 Panhandle communities on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Reservations are required. Visit panhandletrails.com or call 761-TRIP. Acosta against Dean in the first pitch, a strike. 3 strikeouts in the game for Acosta so far. She has given up a total of 2 hits, and more importantly, no runs. Popped into left field. Long run for Seabaum, and it'll go off of the glove. Have they ruled fair or foul? The throw into third base, not in time, and apparently had touched it in fair territory. So if that's the case, Dean will be camped at third base. That's going to bring Carlos Palamo out to inquire as to where that ball actually was touched. It's not where it lands, as it did bounce into fair territory after it was off the glove of Seabaum. But don't think we're going to have a chance here for anything to change there, but Seabaum is going to be looked at, as she had slipped and went down, came back up quickly, but probably some of that just the adrenaline of the play. So it looks like Dean will be at third base, and it went off of the glove. Yeah, they're checking C-bomb here just to make sure, but that'll be a 3-base error against C-bomb. Second error that Alliance has had in the ball game. So we've got a brief timeout here. Remind you that for more than 125 years, Wells Fargo Advisors has created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. Call Kevin Figg and Ryan Windhorst at 632-7561. That's 632-7561. Together, we'll go far. So apparently, C-bomb okay. We've already had the conversation with the umpire about whether fair or foul down the line. It's where you wish we did have a replay capability to go back and see for sure ourselves. But, of course, sometimes when you're watching on TV and the replay after replay after replay ad nauseum, you kind of get tired of seeing replays too. At least I do. But would be helpful here. But looks like C-bomb will stay. So Dean, the runner at third. Josie Brown will be the batter. And the other umpire is going to talk with Tim Gonzalez for a moment over at third base for Gering. So a high fly into left field went off the glove of C-bomb, and Dean pulled in at third base. And it looks like Josie Brown with a chance to tie this ball game up. It's 1-0 Alliance. They get a run in the top of the fourth. And now in the bottom half, Gering immediately threatening. Brown hit a soft liner to Shoemaker at shortstop, her first at-bat. So now Carlos Palamo, after attending to his player, coming back to chat for a moment, and we may have a substitute, and we will. So it looks like Kylie Adams will go in for C-bomb. So Kylie Adams, the new left fielder for Alliance. One junior replacing another one out there for Alliance. So 1-0, but Gering threatening to tie things up here in the fourth inning. Runner at third, nobody down. A long halt there in play. Now we're ready to go. Acosta fires, showing bunt, but taking the pitch will be Josie Brown, and the infielders charging at the corners. Shortstop Shoemaker trying to get over to cover third in case Dean is a little slow in getting back. Ball 1 to Brown. Now ball 2. Oh, excuse me, 1-1 they're calling it. The first one was an offering, so now we're 1-1 strike on Josie Brown. Ground ball up the middle, through for the base hit. It got by the glove of J.C. Acosta, and it's an RBI for Josie Brown as Dean will come in on the base hit. So we're tied at 1. That an unearned run as the error had put the base runner aboard.
23,
So 1-1, and now the go-ahead run over at first base. It's ball 1 to Kelsey Bonsack. Bonsack lived on an error the first time, one of 2 errors we've seen by Alliance in the game. This one much more costly, of course. This is allowed the base runner. Strike called. Bonsack with a 1-1 strike count now. It's a total of 3 base hits that have been allowed by Acosta in the game. That one, a run batted in. Acosta waiting now with the sign. And reaching for it, grounding it foul. Third base side is Bonsack, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-1 in the 4th inning. Go ahead, run it first, still nobody down. So chance for Gering to put a big inning together here. Grounded foul, third base side again. So ball, 2 strikes. Macy Schlotthauer on deck. An error, a single, and a run across for Gering. Costa ready to go. And it'll be fouled away. First base side this time. So it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bonsack, who's proving to be a difficult customer here. This will be the 6th pitch that she has seen from J.C. Acosta. Acosta has the sign from Busey. Lined foul, and that's still 1 ball, 2 strikes, and now the 7th pitch coming up. So a ball, 2 strikes on Bonsack yet. Costa with a fresh softball out there, shakes off the sign from Busey. Now delivers and chasing the pitch, moving to second on the play, however, will be Brown. So Bonsack strikes out for 1 out, but Brown goes to second base. And here's Schlotthauer to bat now. Schlotthauer, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. Nice bunt. Throw to first in time. Sacrifice works. Brown moves to third on the play. And that'll make 2 down. And Kelly Snelling with a chance to give Gering the lead. Runner at third, 2 down. Snelling, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning also. 1 of 4 that Acosta has in the game. Snelling stand deep in that third base batter's box. Fastball whistles in low, ball 1. Outfielders, average depth maybe a little shallower by Adams out there in left field now. 2 outs. Grounded foul. 1 ball, 1 strike to Snelling. And a Splashdosser waiting on deck. So both teams have scored in the 4th inning. Gering trying to put a second across to take the lead. Wind has come up slightly. It's going from the right field pole to the left field pole. 1-1's lifted out of play, foul. So ball, 2 strikes. Brown with the RBI single right up the middle. It tied the game. She's now the runner representing the go-ahead run over at third base. Fouled again. Will stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. Coming into this inning, Acosta had thrown 39 pitches. Weiss had thrown 48 in that same 3 innings, but threw 25 in the top half of this inning. In the dirt. Busey, nice job of keeping it in front of her. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, runner at third. Costa's pitch count might rival that 25 here by the time we get through the half inning. Lined left side, that'll fall for a base hit. Adams will bring it back in. Here's the throw to second and out at second base. And I think we're going to have the coach talk about this one a bit, but it'll go as an RBI single for Snelling. Brown will score on the hit. That makes it a 2-1 ball game. But out safe calls aren't necessarily something you can protest for the most part. So the inning is over, but Gering will get 2 runs across in the inning on a couple of hits. There was an error, and nobody left on. To the 5th inning, and it's Gering 2, Alliance 1 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E Series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
A lot of scoring compared to the other innings in the 4th. Alliance put 1 up, Gering put 2. Both unearned by Gering, by the way, but that doesn't matter. They got the lead in the game. Here's Diana Acosta looking at ball 1. So Maddie Weiss, working, has thrown 73 pitches through 4 innings of play. There's a swing, a late swing by Acosta. It's ball 1 and strike 1. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Alliance here in the 5th of the scheduled 7-inning ball game. Ball 2, so 2-1. Taylor Mannion scheduled next. She doubled, but was thrown out as she rounded second base. Check swing, it's a strike anyway, and the count goes 2-2 to Diana Acosta. Gering 15-6, Alliance 9-16. Gering's won 3 of the 4 matchups this year. Popped up in the infield. Claflin makes the basket catch, and that makes 1 away. So 1 out. Shades of Willie Mays of the old Giants years and years and years ago. And here's Taylor Mannion. Doubled to left, but rounded, thinking she would go to third. Coach had the stop sign on. She skidded to a stop, and the throw came in behind her, and she was tagged out. Ball 1. So far, a total of 4 hits in the game, but 1 run across. There's ball 2. Lions has stranded 3 base runners in the game so far. Don't have any so far this inning. 1 out. This will be lifted into deep right on the run, and making the catch will be Macy Schlotthauer. Nice grab. Looked just nonchalant about it, really, for making the catch out there. It was a good one. That makes 2 outs. And here's J.C. Acosta. Has struck out swinging and looking so far in the game, has the Alliance pitcher. 2 out, nobody on. Makes 4 straight, retired by Weiss. The last 2 in the 4th, first 2 in the 5th. Ball 1. Outfielders straight away, fairly deep. Infielders normal positions. There's a strike at the letters. It'll be 1-1 to J.C. Acosta. Elise Stoike on deck. Gering with a couple of unearned runs last inning after Alliance had put 1 up in the top half of the inning. Check swing. It'll be 2 balls. Strike now to J.C. Acosta. Two out, nobody on base if you just joined us. All the scoring in the 4th inning. Lifted into right center. On the run, Snelling. It'll fall in front of her. And there's the 5th hit of the ball game off of Weiss. A 2-out single by Acosta. Keeps the inning going. And here's Elise Stoike. 0 for 2, strikeout, and a comebacker to the pitcher. The runner on, 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning of play. Strike 1 to Stoike. Weiss has given up 5 hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles, and a triple, but only 1 run, and ironically enough, that runner got on with a walk. Swinging through that one is Stoike, and it's going to be 0-2. Ahead of that pitch, as Weiss pulled the string on it. Costa, the runner at first. Delivery to Stoike. Lifted down the right field side. Coming and making the catch again is Macy Schlotthauer. Couple of great catches in the inning by the sophomore, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left. We're in the middle of the 5th, 2-1.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
For more than 125 years, Wells Fargo Advisors has created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. Call Kevin Figg and Ryan Windhorst at 632-7561. It's 632-7561. Together, we'll go far. Into the bottom of the 5th inning. Gering batting with a 1-run lead in the game right now. They have beaten Alliance 3 of 4 times this year. They're unbeaten at home. This is only their 5th true home game of the year. They'll be at the Greater Nebraska Athletic Conference tournament in Hastings on Saturday at the Hastings Complex. It's where the state tournaments are played. Nice facilities down there. Alliance will host Holyoke, Colorado on Thursday. And then they'll be at Chase County on Saturday in Imperial. They'll play Chadron and Chase County in a triangular. Hold up for a moment as the umpire has to make an appearance. Kind of important to have him. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, Hannah Splastoser will step in. Splastoser grounded to Stoike at 3rd base, and her only at-bat of the game so far. Total of 4 hits, 2 of them last inning by Gering, along with that costly error. And the 2 runs came across. Hit off the fists, and it'll fall in, and out at first base will be Splastosser. Bang, bang play. That was off of J.C. Acosta, just as she tried to make the over-the-shoulder catch. Shoemaker got it, throws for the out, and here's Maddie Weiss. Grounder to short, fouled out to the catcher. 0 for 2 for the sophomore pitcher. Ball 1. 58 pitches thrown by J.C. Acosta of Alliance in the first 4 innings of play. That's only her 60th pitch of the game. Check swing. It'll be ball 2. And more batters will probably be wearing their warm-up jackets as they bat in this game, as once the sun went down, it became fall weather. Grounder foul, first base side, so 2 balls and a strike on Weiss, with Bobby Claflin waiting on deck. Defense still the same, as Adams had gone in an inning ago out there in left field due to the injury. We'll check on that to make sure who's out there, but otherwise Mannion in center and Trevino in right field. Grounder back to the pitcher. Acosta fields and throws, and we've got 2 outs. Here's Claflin, who's 2 for 2. Pair of singles in the game. Well, it looks like Trevino has moved to left field. We'll have to check and see what else we got for position changes out there as the inning goes on here. 2 outs, nobody on. And Claflin will take ball 1. Claflin, a single in the first, stranded at third, single in the third, and stranded at first. 2 of the 4 hits in the ball game. The only other 2 coming by Brown and Snelling an inning ago. In the dirt for ball 2. Kiera Island waiting to bat for Gering here in the 5th. The wind is moving from the right field pole to the left field pole. Grounder in the hole. Shoemaker guns it across, but not in time. So Claflin with her 3rd hit. This one an infield variety. As Shoemaker, nice job of stopping it on her bare hand side, and the big stretch by Garrett, but Claflin beat it out. 5th hit of the ball game now, off of Acosta. And here's Kiera Island. Grounder to the pitcher and a strikeout so far. Ball 1. Nice snare by Busey, keeping Claflin from moving on. So 2 outs, runner on for Gering. They lead by 1. 5th inning of a 7-inning ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Island, the 3rd place hitter in the lineup for Gering's Tim Gonzalez. This will be hit up the middle. Shoemaker had the English spin it away from her, and everybody will be safe. That was one where she was racing over to her glove hand side to get it. When it hit, it spun back to the right. She was good to just get a hand on it and knock it down, but there were no plays. And that'll go as an infield single for Island. So 2 on and 2 out. 5th and 6th hits, and Alliance is going to take a timeout here and talk things over. Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit offers regularly scheduled, accessible bus service serving communities between Alliance and Scotts Bluff Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 21 Panhandle communities on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Reservations are required. Visit panhandletrails.com. Call 761-TRIP. And just remember, Ohio National says life changes. We'll be there. We're in the 5th inning of a 7-inning ball game, and there were 2 outs, nobody on. Ball hadn't gotten out of the infield, and it still hasn't. But now Gering has runners at 1st and 2nd. Claflin hit one that Shoemaker backhanded, but on a bang-bang play, missed by an eyelash and getting the out. And then Kiera Island hit one with a lot of English on it. It spun away from where Shoemaker was racing to make the play, and it'll go as an infield single. Following the Alliance timeout, here's Briley Dean. Grounded to second, fly to left that was dropped and resulted in the run. The first run for Gering that tied it up, ball 1. And then Brown came in after getting the RBI single to get Dean across on the hit by Snelling, and that's where Gering took the 2-1 lead. Off speed, It's 2 balls, no strikes. Now to Dean. Runner in scoring position. That's Claflin. Island also on base at first. Strike 1 there. So 2 balls, a strike to Briley Dean. She's the cleanup hitter, despite being just a freshman. Josie Brown is on deck. Gering hoping to get an insurance run or 2 here. Now it's 3-1. Might mention the only win that Alliance has against Gering this year out of their 4 tries was an extra inning win. They battled back to gain a tie and then won it in the 8th. Sharp grounder. Shoemaker stops it, throws for the force, which was the play she had to make. It was going to be tough to get the out at first. So Dean grounds into a fielder's choice, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left for Gering. Into the 6th, it's still Gering 2, Alliance 1 on the West.
The growth and prosperity of our community.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Welcome back. We're into the 6th inning. It's been a good ball game right now, 2-1. As all of the scoring contained to the 4th inning. Here's Shoemaker, ball 1. She leads off in the 6th. Alliance needing 1 run here to get it tied up. Lifted into right field. And another running catch by Schlotthauer. She has had, out of the last 4 batters, 3 of the outs. Couple of really outstanding defensive plays out there by the sophomore. 1 out, and here's Brandy Seabaum. Seabaum has struck out and walked. She has the run scored for Alliance in the game. Seabaum looking down to the coach, but pretty much on her own, I would think, here with an out in the 6th inning of play. Nobody on base. And that one's in the dirt, ball 1. Might recommend you don't hit it to right field right now, the way Schlotthauer's covering territory out there. Now a halt for a moment, and Tim Gonzalez comes out of the dugout and is perhaps checking lineup, but according to mine, it should be Seabaum batting right now. See if that's what he's thinking, is there is a batting order mistake. It's just one of those things you hope doesn't happen when you're a broadcaster, not just for the sake of the team, but in trying to determine what happens when somebody bats out of order. If you ever look at an official baseball rule book, they use examples with Abel, Baker, Charles, Daniel, Edward, Frank as the examples in what happens if Charles bats when Baker was supposed to and he gets on base, and oh my gosh, it's one of those where I'm glad I don't have to recite that to earn a living because it is complicated. Now they're getting together to talk about something else. Is it perhaps because she had re-entered once already? I'm thinking that might be it. Seabaum had come out for a pinch runner and re-entered, and maybe she came out again. So he spotted something about she wasn't to be the batter. So now 2 outs on the board, nobody on.
Now batting number 21, Callista.
So here's Callista Trevino, started in right field, moved to left field. Nobody on, down a run. Fouled away, first base side. Trevino, solid contact, but a bit late on the swing, so 0-1. Ball being retrieved out there in foul territory, so a brief halt while they bring it back in. We're in the 6th inning. Right now, Alliance trailing it by 1. There's 2 out, nobody on base. Ball 1. So Garrett scheduled next, and as we said earlier in the telecast, she had really hit with some power last week. Home runs and consecutive at-bats against Scotts Bluff. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. Trevino trying to become a base runner because the way Garrett had been swinging, he might be just 1 pitch away from a couple of runs coming across if you've got a base runner. 2-1, grounded second base side. Claflin throws for the out, and the inning is over. It was a no run, no hit, no error, nobody left inning. We're in the middle of the 6th, still 2-1 Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
We're into the 6th inning of play, 2-1. Gering holding on to the lead. All of the runs scored in the 4th inning in this one. And Gering with 2 unearned runs due to an error in the inning that allowed the base runner that tied it. And then the inning continued with an extra out because of the error. First pitch to Josie Brown. It's ball 1. Brown has gone 1 for 2. Single to center. Drove in the tying run in the 4th inning. And then scored the go-ahead run. It's 2-0 now as the pitch misses high. It's getting chilly out there. That could be an effect on everyone's throws in this ball game. So Brown, with a 1 for 2 performance, had a soft liner to Shoemaker at shortstop in her first at-bat. Looks at strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Leadoff batter in the 6th. Gering hoping for an insurance run of some sort here. And it's going to be 3-1. Nope, called a strike, 2-2. So Acosta has given up a total of 6 hits. She has 4 strikeouts in the game, and now make it 5. So the 5th strikeout is against Brown, leading off for Gering in the 6th. Then it'll bring up Kelsey Bonsack, who is a strikeout victim. She's also lived on an error. Officially 0 for 2, but she has been on base. And as we said, people wearing warm-up jackets are a little extra to keep the heat in. There's a pitch inside for ball 1. Scheduled 7-inning game, so Alliance will have one more at-bat in this thing. Gering ahead right now, 2-1. It's called strike 1. Schlotthauer, who's been the defensive star of this one for the Gering Bulldogs, who's scheduled next. And a lunging catch by Elise Stoike on the line drive off Bonsack's bat makes it 2 down. And here's Macy Schlotthauer. Sacrifice and a strikeout back in the 2nd. So 0 for 1. But she did move the runner-up Brown from 2nd to 3rd, where she scored on Snelling's single in the 4th inning. One of 2 left-handed batters in the lineup. Takes a big swing and misses. Strike 1. Schlotthauer taking her money's worth out of that cut. This one will miss, so it's ball 1 and strike 1. Kylie Adams had moved from left to right, and Trevino exchanged places with her, moved to left field. Mannion's still in center for Alliance. Infield defense has stayed the same. And fouled away, making it a ball and 2 strikes to Schlotthauer. Shoemaker at shortstop, Gibson at 2nd, Garrett at 1st, Stoike at 3rd, and Erica Bussi doing the catching for J.C. Acosta, who's out in the center circle. Ball, 2 strikes on Schlotthauer, trying to keep it from being a 1-2-3 inning. Off-speed pitch, grounded past a diving Peyton Gibson for the base hit. So Schlotthauer gets the base hit. Hit number 7 in the game for Gering. And it keeps the inning going for Kelly Snelling, who singled a run home that gave Gering the lead her last at-bat. She struck out in the 2nd, singled in the 4th. And was thrown out trying to go to 2nd on the play. Ball 1. Splashdosser on deck if Gering gets that far in the order. Schlotthauer at first base. Now 2-0 to Snelling. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 out, runner at first. Off speed, misses outside, 3-0. So will Snelling take on the pitch, or will she look for a fat pitch to see if she can get the base hit? 3 balls, no strikes. Here's Acosta's delivery. It will be taken for strike 1. Splashdosser on deck. 2 outs, runner at first. Gering batting in the home half of the 6th inning. And that one will miss, ball 4. So that is the first walk given up by Acosta in the ball game. Keeps things going as Schlotthauer will move to 2nd. And remember, the only walk that we have seen from Maddie Weiss of Gering resulted in a run. So 2 out, 2 on. And Splashdosser scheduled up, but some instructions rather than a pinch hitter here, I would say. Yeah, it will be a pinch hitter. a while coming in to bat the way it looks, but now Carlos Palamo asking for time here also.
Faith Smith looks like she's going to check in. So Faith Smith getting the at-bat now for Gering.
So we have a timeout, still 2-1.
Carlos Palamo calling time. Timeout brought to you by GNC in the Monument Mall.
Alliance will bat in the top half of the 7th, needing right now 1 to tie it, but with 2 on base, who knows here for Gering. Snelling, the runner at first. Schlotthauer, the runner at second. Both outfielders, you would expect good speed out of them. And I believe we're looking at, what, number 1? Oh, Faith Smith, 21 will be the one. Okay. So here we go with a new batter. Two out, 2 on. Acosta trying to get out of the inning with no damage. Ball 1. So there were 2 outs, nobody on base. Then Schlotthauer with the single. Snelling with the walk. And Alliance needing to get an out. Popped up, out of play. So it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. Gering with insurance runs out there waiting to come across if Smith can get the job done. J.C. Acosta goes to the motion. Off-speed pitch. She's ahead of that one, and it's strike 2. Smith at 1-2. Costa steps back on the pitcher's plate, looks into Busey for the sign, and the delivery grounded foul. Again, she went off speed. It'll stay 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Snelling at first, at second, Macy Schlotthauer. Costa trying to get out of the inning.
Outfielders pretty much straight away, not super deep. And we've gone to a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Couple of runners aboard for Gering here in the home half of the next to last inning. Ripped foul down the right side. So we'll stay 2-2.
Nice battle here between Faith Smith and J.C. Acosta.
Coming into this inning, Acosta had thrown 74 pitches, but she's had a bushel basket of them here. And we'll go to a full count. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And it's fouled away again. So 3 balls, 2 strikes again. It's getting close to 90 pitches through 6 innings for Acosta now. A goodly number of those have been this inning. This will be the 9th pitch to Faith Smith. Right-handed batter, Acosta the right-handed pitcher. It'll miss, and the bases are loaded. So the walk, the second in a row that's been given up by Acosta, loads them up. Schlotthauer to third, Snelling to second, and it's Maddie Weiss. Talk about a chance to help yourself out. The pitcher for Gering batting with the bases loaded. A 1-run lead. The only loss that Gering has had this year was Shoemaker made a couple of great defensive plays up there, of course. That was in the visitors' half that snuffed out a potential insurance run or 2 for Gering, and then Gering gave up a run in the bottom of the 7th and lost it to Alliance in extra innings. So here's Weiss, 0 for 3. That pitch is a strike. This is the 6th batter in the inning, and we still have no runs. So 2 out, bases loaded. Weiss batting. Acosta, who has walked 2 in a row, whistles one in, and it's ripped into left center for a base hit. Multiple runs are going to score on this one. Here comes the throw into second. Now the throw to the plate won't be in time, and it's a 3 RBI double for Maddie Weiss to left center field, and opens the game up from 2-1 to 5-1. Schlotthauer comes in from third, Snelling from second, and Smith all the way from first base will score. And just like that, we've gone to a 5-1 game. Here's Bobby Claflin. We do have a courtesy runner coming in. Brady is going to be in now as the runner at second for Weiss. So Victoria Brady, the junior, out there is Weiss with the big hit. That was the first extra base hit. Here's the throw to third, not in time. So Brady moves over. Claflin has 3 of the 8 hits Gering has in the ball game. 3 for 3 with a runner at third. And ball 2. This the 7th batter of the inning now. Gering putting some big numbers together. 3 across in the inning so far. Swings through that one. 2 balls, 1 strike. So now at 2 balls and a strike to Claflin after she had stepped out of the box. She's in, and it'll bounce. It gets away, and here comes Brady to the plate. She'll score. So Brady scores on the wild pitch, and 4 runs across in the inning. It's now a 6-1 ball game. Gering leading Alliance, with Alliance 1 more at-bat in this one. So it's 3 balls and a strike for Claflin. And that's ball 4. So 3 walks in the inning, the only walks that have been issued by Acosta in the ball game. And 2 of them have already scored in the inning. So now Island to bat. So a runner at first, 4 runs across in the inning. We've had 2 hits and 3 walks in the inning. No errors, but 4 runs across have definitely done the damage. Grounder hit sharply. Stoike comes up with it on a hop and throws for the out, and the inning is over. But Gering comes up with 4 runs in the inning, 2 hits, as we said, 3 walks, no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. So we go to the 7th. Alliance with their work cut out for them now. It's Gering 6, Alliance 1 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Compliments for you and your home has got the latest decor. Come in today and see what you can create. Start with great home decor from Uttermost. Lamps, chairs, and vases for any taste. Need a little light for a more intimate feeling? Flameware is a recharging LED light that simulates candle flames. Rootworks bowls are hand-carved, one-of-a-kind wooden bowls you can't find anywhere else. Finally, for a little accent, try these leather and Western-style pillows from High End. Compliments for you and your home, downtown Scotts Bluff.
This is Jane. She thinks she's just filling her car, but she's also filling the air with cancer-causing toxic chemicals used to boost octane in gas. What doesn't burn in the engine enters the air and your lungs, even your heart and brain. Bad for everyone, especially kids. Ethanol is a natural octane booster, clean burning and non-toxic. More ethanol means less scary stuff in our gas and in the air we breathe. And that makes your choice pretty plain, Jane.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Welcome back. We're into the 7th, and what was a 2-1 ball game has all of a sudden exploded into a 6-1 lead for Gering in the contest, and it's going to be an uphill struggle for Alliance now as they will have their 6, 7, and 8 hitters to go up against Maddie Weiss, who has thrown a 5-hitter in the ball game so far. 2 singles, 2 doubles, a triple. A lot of those coming early in the ball game. In fact, the last 2 hits she's given up were the singles. Acosta in the 5th inning and Trevino in the 4th. So it's Garrett who has home run power but has struck out twice in this one. Strike 1. So we're in the last inning of play, barring extra innings, but that will require a 5-run rally. Grounder to third base. Brown scoops, throws, and there's an out. So 1 away. Erica Busey, the catcher, scheduled next. She has struck out once, also had a sacrifice bunt. So Weiss, through 6 innings of this game, has given up 1 run. She has struck out 9, none since the 4th inning. Ball 1. Diana Acosta scheduled next, but it looks like we may have Peyton Gibson to hit. She was the flex player. There's a strike at the knees, so 1-1. As we said, coming up, Gering will be at the GNAC tournament in Hastings on Saturday. Ball 2. Alliance will be hosting Holyoke, Colorado Thursday. Then they're at Imperial Chase County Saturday to take on Chadron and Chase County in a triangular. And that hit her. So Busey hit by the pitch. 1 walk, 1 hit batter for Weiss in the game. Extends things, as we are going to see Peyton Gibson. So Gibson to bat here in the 7th inning. Infielders gather with Weiss for a moment, who blows on her hand to get some warmth because it has gotten to be football weather out here tonight, midway through this softball game. Ball 1. Lined at second, caught, double play. So Gibson lines out to Claflin, who doubles Busey off at first base for our only double play of the ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Alliance in the 7th inning of play. Our final, and remember, stick around for the post-game stats, Gering 6 and Alliance 1 on the Westco scoreboard.
Exceptional care.
My big secret for design. Being an Allo customer just got even better. 3 times better, in fact. We've tripled our standard internet speed from 100 to 300 megs at no additional cost to you. This isn't one of those limited time offers that will melt away either. 3 times the streaming, 3 times the gaming, 3 times the uploading, all for the same price. Why? Because we love our customers. Allo, no gimmicks, no limits, no kidding, and still no contracts.
The growth and prosperity of our community is dependent on the reinvestment of local dollars into our local economy. When you open a high-interest savings account at Platte Valley Bank, we turn around and loan your money back to our community for new construction, business expansion, home loans, in backing agriculture, and much more. Come save with us at Platte Valley Bank and know that you are doing business with a local bank with local decisions that reinvests your money here in our community.
There's a place where folks still play with fire. The common ground between backyard barbecue heroes and professional chefs. This is where friendships are forged, fire and flavor come together, and new techniques are perfected. Here in Big Green Egg Country, cooking is still treated as an art form. And since the most versatile grill you'll ever own comes with a lifetime warranty, you'll always have the ultimate cooking experience. Locate a dealer at biggreenegg.com.
Welcome back. Chuck Swartz with you on the post-game show as Gering explodes for 4 runs in the 6th inning and gets the 6-1 victory as we had a narrow 2-1 lead in the ball game right up till that point. Let's look at the batting first for Alliance in this one. J.C. Acosta goes 1 for 3, a single, struck out twice. Elise Stoike 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Janae Shoemaker 1 for 3, a triple, a strikeout. Brandy Seabaum hitless in 2 tries, struck out once. She did walk and score the lone Alliance run. Callista Trevino 2 for 3, a single, a double, and had a run batted in. Aubrey Garrett goes hitless in 3 tries, striking out twice. Erica Busey 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch, also had a sacrifice besides a strikeout. Diana Acosta 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Peyton Gibson hit for her in the 7th, lined into a double play, in fact, so 0 for 1 for her. Taylor Mannion goes 1 for 2 with a double. A run, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left for Alliance. Looking at the Gering batting, Maddie Weiss, that big 3 RBI double in the last inning, goes 1 for 4, also scored a run. Bobby Claflin 3 for 3, also walked in the game. Kiera Island goes 1 for 4 with a single and a strikeout. Briley Dean hitless in 3 tries, lived on an error, scored a run. Josie Brown 1 for 3, a single, a strikeout, a run scored, and a run batted in. Kelsey Bonsack goes hitless in 3 tries. She struck out, did live on an error, and lined out the other time. She was then Macy Schlotthauer, besides that outstanding defensive play, or plays really, that she had in right field, ended up going 1 for 2 in the game with a single, a strikeout, and a run scored. Kelly Snelling 1 for 2, a single, a walk, a strikeout, a run scored, and a run batted in. Hannah Splastasser goes 0 for 2. And Faith Smith pinch hits in the 6th, walks, and scores a run. So officially 0 for 0. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Gering, and 6 left on. We'll look at the pitching when we come back. Again, it was 6-1 Gering on the West Coast scoreboard.
We'd like to recognize the senior ladies.
What are you waiting for? A 6-year limited powertrain warranty? Savings on performance-matched implements? 0% APR financing for up to 5 years? Head down to your local Kubota dealer before September 30th and take advantage of this incredible offer on the BX Series, America's best-selling subcompact tractor. Kubota. This is what we do.
Come into Sandberg Implement, your local Kubota dealer.
Your local Kubota dealer is Sandberg Implement in Gering.
Exceptional care, right here at home. That's the mission of Morrill County Community Hospital. Morrill County Community Hospital is a 20-bed critical access hospital that owns and operates clinics throughout Bridgeport, including specialty outreach clinics and Morrill County Home Health Clinic, as well as Chimney Rock Medical Center, located in Bayard. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time at Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska.
Care Heilbrunn State Farm agent is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbrunn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you. Care Heilbrunn State Farm agent is here to protect all the moving parts of your life. With auto, home, life, and financial services, Care Heilbrunn and her team make it simple to bring together what matters to you.
She would like to thank Mom for being her biggest support.
They're having their senior night festivities after the game tonight, and for Gering, of course, with that come-from-behind win, all the sweeter. Let's look at the pitching as Gering wins at 6-1. For Alliance, J.C. Acosta goes 6 innings. She gave up 6 runs. 4 of those were earned. 8 hits, 7 singles, and a double. That double was a 3 RBI double by Maddie Weiss in the last inning that broke this one open. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks for Acosta as she takes the loss. Maddie Weiss, the sophomore, gets the win for Gering. She went 7 innings, gave up 1 run. It was earned. 5 hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles, a triple. Struck out 9. That all happened in the first 4 innings of play. And kind of ironically there, through 4 innings, she had given up all extra base hits except for 1 for Trevino. Then Acosta, a single in the 5th inning. And that was it. So a walk, a hit batter, 9 strikeouts, 5 hits allowed for Weiss as she picks up the win. We'll come back and wrap this one up. Again, it was 6-1 Gering.
Compliments for you and your home has got the latest decor. Come in today and see what you can create. Start with great home decor from Uttermost. Lamps, chairs, and vases for any taste. Need a little light for a more intimate feeling? Flameware is a recharging LED light that simulates candle flames. Rootworks bowls are hand-carved, one-of-a-kind wooden bowls you can't find anywhere else. Finally, for a little accent, try these leather and Western-style pillows from High End. Compliments for you and your home, downtown Scottsbluff.
Beat the heat and play inside with Planet Bounce at the Monument Mall. Bounce houses, concession stand, and the largest redemption arcade in town, Planet Bounce has hours of fun. Call today to schedule your birthday party, and as always, ask Ron about renting a bounce house for your party, corporate event, office party, or family reunion. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Planet Bounce Family Fun Center at the Monument Mall.
Well, we won't worry about it then. Yeah. Busy night of sports with KNEB. Here we had the TV telecast of Gering and Alliance. 9:60 a.m. had Scottsbluff going up against Chadron on 9:60 a.m. with Jeff Kelly. And then in volleyball, Chris Cottrell was in Sydney as Scottsbluff and Sydney going at it down there. So just a hint of things through this week. There will be a lot of activities yet. Chris and Jeff will be busy. Okay, we don't have any final in on that Scottsbluff Sydney volleyball. Don't know if we have anything on, let's see, no, that was the last thing. I was just trying to check through and see, but don't have any other scores in as of yet to pass along to you. But that's going to take care of it from the Oregon Trail Ballpark tonight. Thanks for our crew doing everything well again, as always, as we get through the telecast. This is our final softball telecast, but there are football and volleyball telecasts yet to come on kneb.tv. Chuck Swartz, thanking you for being along, wishing you a good evening, and reminding you the final score again was Gering 6 and Alliance 1.
This is Mike. Mike likes his car. Mike likes to save money. And Mike likes to breathe. So Mike fills up with E15 with 15% American ethanol. The clean octane in E15 gives Mike the performance he wants from his engine and the clean air he wants for his family. Better yet, E15 costs less at the pump. Higher octane, cleaner air, lower cost. E15 sure gives Mike a lot to like.
For locations near you, go to huskerfuel.com.
Have a ball this fall getting your property in shape with a new John Deere compact tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months on all compacts, like the hard-working 1 family and the economical 3E series. And get $500 off with the purchase of 2 qualifying implements that turn your tractor into the workhorse it was built to be. Clean up your property and clean up on savings with John Deere.
Visit 21st Century Equipment in Alliance, Torrington, Scottsbluff, and Bridgeport, or visit 21stcenturyequipment.com.
Regular season series over Alliance 4-1. The one loss coming in on August.